Yeah, so what is it? Friday morning, day 118 on the road. We've been off-road a few times. Yesterday I found a fuel leak. So I've just sorted the fuel leak out and it was on the back of the pump, just needed to be tightened up. But I'm just underneath checking a few things out and have a look what I find. This main arm here, which connects to the body of the car and to the diff here, that main arm stops the diff moving sideways, so the whole front end, if that bolt there falls out, the nut's gone, washer's gone, and that bolt's halfway out. If that bolt comes out, you're looking at a major accident there. If you wouldn't be able to steer it, the whole front end would go like jelly and you'd run off the road. That's 100%, that's what would happen. To get on the brakes, and then it would probably get worse, or who knows. But everything else under here is looking really good. Like I said, I've just fixed a little fuel leak. We went from 300 Ks per tank. This thing's got 2 tanks in it. We went from 300 Ks per tank, so close to 600 Ks all up, to about 240 in one. So we've lost 60 litres, and I've just found the leak. So all sorted there, but that could have been very, very, very dangerous. And the fuel leak obviously happened for a reason, for me to find that bad boy there, because that could have killed someone quite easy. So we'll bang that back in. I'll get a nut on the back of that and a washer, and make sure nothing like that happens on our trip. But being off-road a few times, shaking around, it obviously wasn't overly tight to start with. The nuts rattled off, and over time the bolt's coming out. But I'll have something on board to fix that. Well, for now, you can see I've put a battery terminal, a new battery terminal on there. That'll hold it in until I can get to a shop to get a proper nut. I didn't have a nut on board, but other than me. But yeah, we'll get up to one of the shops here, I'll get the right nut and bolt that on, and happy days. But that battery clamp's just a bit of security until I get it fixed. It won't come out. Well, they say everything happens for a reason, and I live by it. Everything does happen for a reason. So we had the fuel leak. The rail that lives underneath that one was leaking. See all the rails that come in and feed all the injectors and that up the top? The bottom one was leaking, so we sorted that. So that happened, and I had to get underneath to see it, and I found that bolt that had the nut missing that supports all the front diff. So that happened for me to find the nut down the bottom. And while I'm in here, I find this hose here, because I replaced all the hoses and belts and everything before I left. And this hose here, the hose clamp wasn't quite tight enough after the hose was all relaxed and everything over the, the 20,000 Ks that we've done. You can see down in there, that little bit of green fluid. That's what brought it to my attention. So I felt underneath the hose, sure enough, green fluid. So that's all fixed. The fuel leak's fixed. The bolt underneath's got the battery clamp on it, one of these, that for now is safe enough for me to drive it back into town. And probably Super Cheap Auto will pull us out of trouble again. I'll get a nut down there, the right one. They normally sell them in groups of 4 or 6, doesn't matter. And I'll slam the bonnet now, because I reckon that's all done. I've checked the water level, oil level, everything's good to go. So rod's back on, and we are back on the road. Today we're going halfway between here and Townsville, free camp. and then probably light another fire and have a beer with Margs and enjoy ourselves. I don't know if we'll let another shot off. I don't let shots off when there's other people around anywhere because they tend to whinge and complain, so I just don't go there. But who knows, we'll have fun either way, and hope you enjoy our road trip today. Bloody Super Cheap Auto has got to be my favourite shop. Today we go in there and get a few goods. Yeah, it didn't cost us a cent. I had a bit of credit. Wow. I love Super Cheap Auto. It's so good, and the people in there are bloody switched on. I love it. Yeah, so if you guessed, we're selling the van. We're going to update it to something a bit bigger. 4-wheel drive suspension and a shower and toilet, a bit more luxury. So the time has come. We've had our fun with this caravan and she's on the market. Well, she just said, what am I doing? And I was talking about her, not to her, right? Time for an iced coffee, and it looks like Kurt's driving.
Okay, Kurt,
he certainly runs the show. Now he wants to drive. Oh, well, that sorted that out. Once again, the boys from Miner's Mate Mechanical Repairs in Mount Isa, Lawrence and I think it's his apprentice. Thanks heaps for welding our exhaust up yesterday, fellas, and thanks again for the nut that you just gave me for the front Panhard rod stabiliser arm for the front diff. We appreciate it. Now it's a lot safer and we're right to hit the road again. Thanks guys, all the best. Bloody champion blokes they are. Thanks gents, see you again. Just remember the word Vogue. Online, it's the little bracket to take your UHF aerial off the front and put it on the side window, because at the front's overrated. It's annoying. So Vogue online for your aerial bracket. And don't forget, you are one lucky bugger. That's right, we all are. BCF, it's on par with Super Cheap. Both shops. What can't you get at both them shops? Them shops and Kmart, my favourite 3 shops. BCF, Super Cheap Auto and Kmart. They all rock, they've got everything. Yeah, not up the top. Daily workout. We've got our new gas bottles and we've got a new cover for the phone for underwater diving. So there's some underwater world coming to YouTube. Righto, just remember your gas bottles, your thread on anything LPG is the opposite to normal. So this is, it's called left-hand thread. So we give that a nip up. Left-hand thread. We lock it all back on. Throw the lock on so no one can take our gas bottles. Job's done. Turn that one on because the little notch in there is facing that bottle, so that means that one's going to ignite the fridge. And that one, when you want to go to the other one, you just simply turn it around to face the other bottle. But now we're full of gas, we always run the spare bottle, which is under there. If we run out on the road, we've got a spare bottle in the van. But once that's done, you simply come in here and see Margs and let Margs know that the fridge is right to light. You can see the red needle there in the white is now going up into the green. Once it's been in the green for 10 seconds, you slowly let that finger off, have it on gas, on 4 for lighting, and done. It's that easy. Living on the road is absolutely fantastic. So after doing a bit of target shooting the other night, our spotties are very low. So today we're going to charge them up while we're travelling down the road, and takes about an hour. So over the next 3 hours those lights will be fully charged. So we've got the charging system there, it's plugged into the inverter, the 1000-watt inverter. So we'll just turn it on around the side, turn the power on, and that is now on, and we'll just check the charge. The battery's fully charged. There's the indicator. It's ready to go. So turn that off to save a bit of power. We'll turn this one over. When that light goes red, it's ready to swap to the next spotty. There it is, charging your gear on the road. It's that easy. Nothing's hard, it's just making it work. Tell you what though, when you look at old signs like that and read what they used to do and how they used to live, makes you appreciate how good and how easy we actually have it these days. This big banger, he'll be back in the bottom end of the box, I'd say. Going up that big hill, that means back in the lower part of the gearbox, back in low range. Here we are in the middle of nowhere. We're not far out of a very small country town called Concurry, but this dam here, you can fish in it, but you could ski in it, just to give you an idea of the scale of it, but you're not allowed to ski in it. But it's big enough to ski, and it's beautiful. It's very green around here. The landscape with the rocks and everything's gorgeous. And obviously in the dry season, they built that dam wall down the back there. To collect and store the water during the dry season. So all the animals and the birds and the natives and everything around here, maybe even the fire brigade or whatever, whoever, locals perhaps, can survive and use the water that's out here. But the river systems just before it that we drove over, dead empty, and I'm positive on the other side of that dam wall, that'll be empty. That'll be the river system for when the wet comes, and the water will just pour straight over the top of that dam wall and straight down the river system. But they do put fish in this water for for recreational purposes. Excuse me, and you know, it's just a great place to bring your family and just hang out. Like we've seen nothing but dust and dirt and bitumen, other than when you get into the main towns, and that's what it's like out here. But to come to a little place like this where everything's nice and green, it's a nice change. Little toilet up the back there. Where there's water, there's life. And not far back, like 10 or 12 k's back, we've seen a fairly big size pig on the side of the road being hit by a car. So what I'm saying is this afternoon's activities could get fairly eventful. If we see pigs, I'll shoot them. As long as it's safe to do so, that should be a bit of fun if we can see them. Like I said, if there's water, there's life. If there's no water out in the outback, there's no life. There's nothing out there, just dust. Lunchtime mugs. What have we got today?
Chicken and coleslaw sandwich.
Oh, yum yum. Can I have a look? Is that yours or mine? It's got a bite out of it. I know whose it is.
Mine.
That's yours. Well, I'm going to have a bite to eat. I'm so lucky enough to have my lucky cook make us a sandwich for lunch, and then I'll give you a look at this beautiful landscape from the air, and I'm going to go a bit further on the outskirts. You never know, there'll be animals out here, hopefully pigs. You never know, we might get a bit of live action hunting. We'll see how we go. unfortunately, we just done a little mischief with the drone coming in a bit hot there. I got a bit close to the water, it's gone in. Now, there's a sign here about swimming and lice in the water. So we'll chuck a bit of sunblock on so the lice don't bite me, because those drones are a few grand, so I'm going to get it. I'm going in to put my goggle and flippers and everything on. I'm going to get that drone, because if it was salt water I wouldn't worry about it, the electronics would be wrecked, but that's just rainwater in there and I'll be able to fix it.
No crocs.
No crocodiles. You never know, there might be one in there. I'll say good day to him if he is.
Oh,
That's dirty.
the water temperature anyway. Keep looking.
Well, no crocodiles, no lice, but I can hear something bipping out there. It's on top of those weeds. Let me have a look at that footage, and other than that, it's fine. I'm not sure if these hunting spotlights are waterproof. I think they're water resistant, but whether they're waterproof or not, we're about to find out. The Marg come up with a good idea. The old Ziploc bag. That might just get us over the line.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, look.
Wow, absolutely no luck in the water finding the drone that I crashed in the water. I can remember when I first bought the drone back in Albany, someone a few weeks after we'd bought it, said to me, be careful when you fly near water because the sensors can't see the water and the reflection, the sensors don't work properly. Well, I just found that out the hard way. I'd actually forgotten about that, and yeah, now it's time to learn the hard way. It is what it is, but they say there's a positivity in everything, and I'm not quite sure what it is in this particular case, but I'll work it out. But other than we've got a spare gimbal cover, that's about the only positive I can think about at the moment. It's about the only good thing that can come out of losing a few $1,000 drone in the water. But the gimbal cover is what holds the camera. It locks the camera mechanism up. The gimbal is what turns to film things. While you're traveling, you put that on and lock it up. That's all that is. But that's just a bit of humour. We got a spare gimbal cover out of it, but that's about it. But such is life. We are about 780 k's roughly out of Townsville, and I know that Townsville's got a Harvey Norman, so yeah, much to Margaret's disgust, we're probably going to end up back in Harvey Norman's to get another drone. Shit happens. Watch Kurt, show you how big and brave he is. What are you doing? Come on. Quick, move. Get out of there, you bloody wretch. Are you coming on a holiday? Quick. Come on. See ya. Quick, see ya. He's rolling in it. Wait, get away from me. Kurt is having a ball. Jono, Helen, Tom and Darcy. Yay, well done guys. Quick, come on. He loves being off the lead. and running around the bush, he loves it. But up here, it's quite unsafe with snakes and goannas. Goannas have got a flesh-eating bacteria on their teeth. So at one bite, he'd be dead. He would need medical attention very, very quickly, or by 24 hours, he'd probably be dead off a goanna bite. A snake bite, he'd be dead in probably under an hour. But near these waters, not that there's crocodiles here, there could be, but I doubt it. Even freshies like freshwater crocodiles, I'd probably swim with them. They're not dangerous at all. They scatter like fish do. The saltwater crocs are completely different. They will come from anywhere just to eat you. And yeah, so I've got to get Kurt on a lead, because like I said, out in the bush here, it gets pretty dangerous. Even though he thrives on it, it's not hot here at the moment, it's late afternoon, the sun's going down, so I'm giving him 10 or 15 minutes to enjoy himself, because like Margaret, I love seeing both of them enjoy themselves. Margaret gets a natural high with this gold detecting business. I'm not into it. I can't get into it. I don't know what it is, but you pick up a lot of steel and aluminium and bullet projectiles and a lot of rubbish, a lot of rubbish before you'll ever find gold, and I can't be bothered with it. But Margaret loves it, and when she's finding gold and all that sort of stuff, she gets a natural high on it. She thrives on it for ages, and I love it. So it's like seeing Kurt running around, you know, near his mum there, and he's enjoying himself, and he has these zoomies and jumps up things and does all these tricks, and he's getting natural highs too, and he loves running around. But he's got to go on a lead before one of these days he will find a goanna or a snake, or potentially, you know, there's a lot of areas where there is crocodiles, and they will just come up and swipe your dog in a heartbeat. So I've got to get him on a lead and be very, very, very careful with him. But getting back to more important things, you know, it's after 5:30 at night, and while Margs is enjoying her detector and trying to find a bit of gold, I'm knocking the top off one. It should be the right time of day. Wow. Perfect temperature. The beer's perfect. The weather here, the temperature right now is perfect, and the serenity, just here with Margaret, Kurt, our car. I know there's no one else in here. This is like a little island that we're on, where we just crossed that water, and I couldn't be happier right now. I'm just loving it. Life is just fantastic. It is every day. I love it every day. It is what it is. But right here, I could build a house here and stay here forever. It's that good. Oh, wow. That, oh, what is it? What is it? An aluminium can. Yeah? That's all right. You got to be in it. Keep looking, love. Yep. Told ya. You find that much rubbish when you're gold detecting. Whew. I know blokes that have been doing it for 15, 20 years, blokes that I used to ride with when I was younger. They find a bit of gold here and there, but man, the amount of bloody rubbish you've got to go through to get it, it's not for me. Well, here we are still down at the big dam. And you know what they say about a small world, right? It is tiny. We're down here kicking around, this carload of people show up, and they get out. Kurt's bloody running amok down at the water, doing zoomies, and he went in and got all muddy and everything, and he ran over to these people, and they instantly fell in love with him. They thought he was great. So we all started talking, blah, blah, blah. Jono, I'm sure you're going to watch this, mate. And we went to school together. It's just such a small world. Now he's got a big beard and he's probably like me and a little bit overweight and all that, but big deal. And yeah, we met his wife Helen and his boys Tom and Darcy. What a family. They're tripping around doing what we're doing, and we're all very like-minded. And Jono, you've done a great job with them boys, you and Helen. Wow, they're brilliant. So yeah, my hat's off to you, and enjoy the rest of your trip. And I hope it's a safe one. And it was very nice talking to you. So we'll see you again. I'll be glad to talk to you on YouTube. See you guys. But here we are over the other side at the dam wall where they can regulate the water. But since we lost the drone, we've decided to come over here and have another look. It's absolutely beautiful. It's 5:15 in the afternoon, so that's why the sun's over there and we're getting a nice glare off the water. It's a gorgeous spot. And that's where we were over there only 5 minutes ago. There's Jono and Helen and Darcy and Tom. They're all mucking around there at the ute, I can see them. And Mum's walking down the footpath. But yeah, you guys rock when you see this. I'll tell you what, as you know, it's always fantastic to meet nice people. And Margaret and I are grateful for that. You can see on this side of the dam wall, that's all stagnant water, and it wouldn't be too far behind those trees where the river would just be sand. That water is stagnant water. And there's the pump and whatnot down there that open and shut. The electricity box there, that how they regulate the water. So when it floods up further, it just flies through here and the water runs over that dam wall there. You know, there's no rocket science there. It was built when it was empty, etc. And you can see the water indicator on the other side of the dam wall there. Not that you can read it, it's too far away, but there's a dam indicator over there. It's got 1, 2, 3 metres, so that's how they know how much trillions and trillions of water, how much is going down the river, and you know what rivers it goes into and what it flushes out, because it cleans all the river systems out. But yeah, that sort of rubbish down there, there's bottles and all sorts of rubbish. But it's an interesting place. Now, one thing that we didn't mention before, which I forgot to when we filmed the signs, was this was all a massive gold mine many years ago, and the hole's very big, hence the reason why over there I couldn't find the drone, because not very far out it starts going very deep. So yeah, it used to be a gold mine back in the day, and they've rerouted one of the river systems a little bit further up into it, and then made the dam wall, and then you know, continues down, and we have a massive dam for wildlife, for life in general. It's just a wonderful thing. So as you just would have seen, the track down there goes over and through the other side. I'm not quite sure how deep that water is, but I'm going for a look. We might go through it. I reckon, Mark, we'll go and see how deep it is. yet. Well, I'm just not sure how deep that is, but yeah, I'm pretty keen to find out, but I know Margaret will flip. Well, I'm going in to find out just how deep it is. Now, it's not too deep. I'm going to try and cross it in the car. I'll go and have a look. So Margaret makes me laugh that often, it's not funny. She's not adventurous at all. And here she is stuck with me. That sort of makes me laugh a bit, but I probably should be more considerate. And I try to be, but you know. But I just said to Margaret, we could take the caravan through here and get adventurous and stay over here tonight like outlaws. And she's just like, no way. Yeah. Here we are, we made it to the other side, and there's Marge. Such a beautiful soul she is. But yeah, well, it's time. We're gonna go and check out that mountain. Mind you, I said that this used to be an old gold mine, and Margaret loves detecting, so I'm taking her on a little adventure through the water that she'll love it. Once we get to the other side, that is. And I'll take her gold detecting for an hour or so up here. Who knows? Kurt and I might climb to the top of them rocks and have a look around. Water's probably just deep enough to come in through the doors. So hopefully it will, because that will add to the excitement for Margaret. I can't wait. Yeah, she'll be fine, I'll look after her. She'll be glad when it's all over.